Hi, welcome to today's session. Today we're going to talk about ticketing, especially for admin. All right, now let's go to our ticketing center in our system. First of all, let's have a very quick overview of the whole system, right? So for example, you can see statistics, including overview, agent workload, SLA, category satisfaction. They all belong to the statistics of ticketing. Ticket search, customized search specifically for agents, ticket processing, different categories, and the setting part. So for different roles, different field, templates, category, channel setting, processing, flow, filter, docking page, ticket SLA, right? So let's start from the setting part. So basically, you can see there are two parts here. The first is skill group management. The second is agent work time, right? So basically have some testing group here already. I also add some roles here just to have to make sure that you can have the overview of it. Look at here. So there is a receiving limit. Basically, you can set a cap for each agent's receiving tickets, and you can change it according to your business needs. We also have different filters here, so role status, or you can directly search the number, the email, or the name. Right? If you want to find a particular agent, you can just search here, or you can just use those filters to set up some conditions. But if there are very few people, then you can actually say it, that you don't need to filter it. This is the agent work time. So you can see the trigger automatically assign ticket business, and SLA statistics will use the set agent work time. So when agent work time is not set, the time setting will be 7/24 hours. Right? So you can see the general setting here. You can choose time zone. You can set the regular work time or makeup work time. Here basically means if some agent miss the regular hours, that person can have extra hours to make up for that. Right. And also like statutory holiday break. Also the skill group setting. This is that you can do it in benches. After that, those like basic general settings, now we move into the very important part of ticket setting. So you can see here is the field and template and category. I just want to quickly go through the three together. So first of all, the category of ticketing is the first level of it. So basically, when you want to filter some tickets, you can see there are different types of ticket, like the product ticket, account opening, internet banking. So those are all the flexible and changeable names of category list. So here are only some examples. You can add it category here, right? So after that, so for each category, you can create different templates for it, right? Where basically have some default templates for different categories, and you can add more. So one category can have multiple templates. In order to have a very perfect templates, you gotta have multiple fields to support that. So for example, the name can be a field. Email address can be a field, or other information of your clients that you want to collect for a business can be a field. So first of all, you have to set up different fields. They can make up for the templates. Then as long as you have enough templates, you can set them into different categories, right? So we just go through them one by one. Let's start from the field, right? So for field permission settings also according to the agent role on their combined form and docking field here, right? So first of all, you can see this combined form list. So I've already set up a test combined form listed here. This description, status, and the field title, the field type, require the selection assignment link, those are the fields, right? So the combined form under the agent role authority, first of all, supports the combination of 4 field types. Sorry, wait a sec. So for example, if I want to set up a new field, add field here, right, for the combined form. So you can see there are a few, there are 4 field types, like the single line text, the drop-down list, those numerical value and related. So let's look at the created one. If you like single line text or drop-down list or numerical level or related, an additional aggregate value can be added below. Like look at these 2, which are already created. Both of them are numerical values. So you can see here is the total number of it. You can choose to use this setting or not. Like for example, you can set up this plus this, then you can get a final number. You can get the total numerical value, right? So confirm or cancel. Let's just say confirm, right? So you can see a total number here after you setting up that. Right. So now let's look at the docking field. The docking field mainly applicable to fields such as comedy cards or odd numbers or order status, etc. You can add field title here, term ID here, verify unique, etc. And also note here, you can type the notes if you want to add some remarks. Cool. So that's basically the set field list. You can use those preset one, or you can just do it on your own. Now let's move on to the template. After creating the fields, you need to divide these fields into different templates. After we create the templates, ID templates, select the field that we just customized and save them to generate a template, including each field in it. For example, add template here. All right. Description, whatever you want. And you can add field here, the title, question description, for example, full name, for example, mobile address. Right, you can set up all this here. You click save. Now you have it. You can also have a preset copy if you want. After the creation, you can click preview to view the result of it. Like for example, you want to categorize it into account opening. Use the Sobot test. Ticket title maybe, I don't know, like based on your business needs. You can also have some attachments here. Priority setting, ticket status. Okay, so that's a preview part. If you want to change it, you can just add it here. Finally, let's move on to the category in terms of the creation part. As I already mentioned, after creating the templates, we need to classify these templates. when we create, we still choose the category first and then the template. You can see this here, as I've shown you. Okay, so that's all for the setting part. If you want to create your own category, you have to create fields first, then templates, finally categorize them. Now moving on to the later on part. First of all, ticket channel setting. So in part of the ticketing channel setting, focus on the function of mail and ticket plugin or voice message. Let's go through that one by one. Okay. Let's briefly go through this mail setting part, the email channel setting. So there is a button you can turn on or turn off so that admin can configure email address based on business needs. The email sent by the customer to the email address will be transferred to tickets. A ticket will be automatically generated and saved to your ticketing center. So the agent can deal with those tickets through this email channel really, really faster. You don't need to switch to the email address. You don't need to deal with that one by one every time. Now you can just deal with them or process them as any kind of ticketing in the past. You can add email address here. So we already have a default one. For example, email address here, type, purpose, task status, and operation. All right. You can also have this default assigned to different categories. Okay. You can also have your email template setting here, like for example, email subject setting. Ticket be replied, email be replied, customer be copied, language, body part, if you have some background color, ladies reply, etc. There's a preview here. Okay, you can change that based on preferences. Ticket plugin. So for ticket plugin, first configure the message template and then select the ticket plugin, including voice messages, right? Okay, add plugin here. You also have the configure submission templates. Add templates here. Name here guidance text, question description, and field setting. So for example, if you have a live chat being deployed on your internet, but you have to set up an alternative when you don't have manual service, you can probably set a template here. You can probably choose that when certain TK channel receive the tickets when it is not manual working hour. You can just show some guidance telling your clients that are unable to provide service for you. So you can leave us a message here. Okay, the question description, that is also a guidance one. Then you can add field here, all this information that you want to collect, you want to guide your clients to live that to you. Also required part or not. Cool. Right, so also voice message, if we let users choose by themselves, for example, display of guest interface, and then leave a message. This is a ticket we generate through the call. So for example, the current users may be in the queue. If the queue is too long, he will say, please leave a message first, and we will contact you later. And then forward it to the message after the beep. And this message was generated in this way as voice message. Now, ticketing processing. Ticketing processing settings, so you can see customer information here. We choose mandatory or not mandatory. And others created just now, the ticketing receiving or applying tickets, reminder, or notification reminder, satisfaction evaluation, right? So for example, create tickets, there are some required fields, what kind of like the customer info is required or not, or how to categorizing it. And also repeated prompt. Auto receiving, if you turn on this button or not. Reply ticket, how to reply to customers, internal notes. Remind ticket. You can have the minimum interval here. Reminder role and notification set up here. Also, if you want to notify agent and in what kind of way and the scope, and if you want to turn on the alert. Satisfaction evaluation. So if it's necessary for ticket evaluation, would that be sent after the ticket resolved or closed? You can set up that based on your preferences. Ticket flow. When we allocate tickets, we can hand over more to the system for allocation instead of manual allocation. Then we will set which conditions are met, including custom fields we can set, and then which action to execute. A flow trigger, duty trigger, and create it here. Trigger title, description, and what kind of conditions, what kind of events that will eventually trigger this button, trigger these events. Right. Then the ticket filter. You can edit all those filters based on your business needs. So there a filter list here. So you basically have 100 filter field, right? So for the filter name, for example, my unsolved, my processed, my created, my solved, my followed, group unassigned, group unsolved, group processed, all assigned, all unsolved, all solved. And also the interval. Available range, turn on or not, and operation here. You can add it, for example. Add a filter name, add description, and refresh the filter condition if you want. Docking page setting. So connect the page the docking page was not shown to you just now. You can add docking page here. Page name, web address, how you're going to open with it, the page status, and the valid range. Right, so docking page is divided into a separate module right now, which is more convenient for us to sort out the business, or when the business used, then you can process it separately. Docking page creating this ticketing may only be displaced here right now, because when we add here the effective range displaced is only of ticket. It will not be the live chat or call center in the system. Finally, the ticket SLA. Here's the very brief definition here. So SLA supports the customer to customize ticket response and processing timeliness and accurately set the response and the solution time reminder function. Right, so you can see the remind relevant agent through the message center here. Message center. an email before and after the specified time to urge the agent to solve the ticket within the specified time. Therefore, this is crucially important to improve the problem-solving efficiency. Basically, you can have a SLA that you have created, the title, description, triggering, and most importantly, you can have timing rule here to set up. And then the SLA setup, priority. So the SLA rule, first response time, first resolution time, and how you're gonna remind, what kind of reminder condition, and also the reminded role, who you want to remind, right? And the notification way. Right, so we have to consider whether I should distinguish it according to the agent's time, whether it is 48 hours or whether it is not resolved within 40 hours, regardless of whether that person is at work or not. Okay. Now let's back to the previous page. Right, I think that's all for the setting part. Now let's move on to the statistics. So for the overview part, you can choose today, yesterday, this week, last week, this month or last month, or whatever customized time frame. There are other filling conditions, such as creating more channels. Right, you can choose channels here. It's a very, very complete channels. Agent created tickets or customer created tickets. Okay. And categories. And based on agent groups or agents or submission groups. Then you can see different indicators here. The number of created tickets, unassigned, assigned, or deleted, all to be resolved tickets, right? All processed tickets, all closed, right? You can click it, then you can see the detailed information of it. Okay. Now return to the previous page. Agent workload. So this is our data comparison. In this part, you can see that there are 6 indicators below. All right. So if you continue to chat, you can light up directly. Then this is through graphics. The bottom is a support channel. So you can see that from all right, so you can basically choose the time frame as the last one. You can see all departments here, all skill groups here, all agents here. Then you can have a basic comparison. Then the SLA part. So this need to be set up in the previous setting part, which we already mentioned. So we won't do that here. But there are more statistics here after your setting. You can see the SLA name here, the TK's first response timeout, first response qualification, first response timeout percentage, right? The average first response time, FCR timeout, FCR qualification, and other indicators. Category statistics. So this is a category previously you set up for your account. For a business, you can see the numbers here and the ratio here, status here. Right. So the classification is collected here. For example, in my customer consultation, it is divided into product consultation, information retention. The data can be seen at the same time. There's also a button called Hide Deleted Category. After we choose it, we can clearly see that it is deleted. But for those that have been deleted, why didn't we delete them directly? Because this part of data may have already been generated. If we directly delete this category, you will never see the statistics later again. If you don't want to say it, you can hide it, and it won't affect other statistics. The last part is satisfaction. Okay, this is not too much to explain. That is, if the ticket is open to allow customers to evaluate satisfaction, the content of the evaluation will enter us, which is very simple. All right, so different filters. You can use it here. The evaluation invitation, chat feedback, positive feedback, neutral feedback, or negative feedback. Also some satisfaction distribution here. This is our statistical part, and this part is generally viewable by super admin roles or authorized agent administrators or team leaders. Okay, so that's all for today's ticketing part for admin. Thank you for listening.